Hello my friends, in this case we want to learn about Flow Generator plugin that is very important for modeling in 3D Studio Max. You can download it from the internet, and if it is a zip file you can unzip it. That I want to unzip here, so I right click on it and select extract here, enter the password, and you can see we unzip it here in the Flow Generator folder. I go into this folder. We have Flow Generator file that its um, format is DLM. You can copy this file. I want to copy, and before this action your 3D Studio Max must be closed. Go to this path in your machine or your computer, C drive, program files, Autodesk, and choose your version of 3D Studio Max. Because we use 2022 version, we have this folder here, and plugins, and right click and click paste. So we have this file pasted here before. I want to go 3D Studio Max, so open it. Okay, I want to check that our installation is true. I go to perspective viewport and choose an object and go to modifier panel, and in the modifier list we want to find Flow Generator, that it is here. I click on this modifier and apply to my object. Click F4 key on the keyboard for the edged face mode, and I want to increase the size of the plane, so set it to 600 and 600 in the length and the width fields. So we go to parameters of the Flow Generator. We have first floor pattern here, that we want to choose the pattern of the floor, that is standard mode. I click herringbone, that is here. We have the lines that is the angular shape, so we have chevron and basket view and hexagon. So I want to see this effect. So in the board size I want to decrease the size of the radius, set it to 100, and we can see these shapes here. So I go to standard mode. In the board size we can set the maximum length of the boards, that is equal 100. I set it to 300, so we can see we have this length equal 300. We can unlock the field of min length and set the minimum length of the boards. I set it to 100, so you can see we have these boards randomly here in random size, here, and all the surface of the object. We have the split option here, that we can set the split of the boards. We have maximum width here, that it's equal 70 centimeters. I want to change it to 50 and unlock the minimum width and set it to 10. So you can see we have randomly widths here that begins from the 10 centimeters and end to the 50 centimeters. We have, so again, a split option here. I want to change it. You can see our pattern is different. We have the glute length and glute width, that it is the space or gap between our pattern. We have these gaps here. I want to go to top viewport and disable the grid, so we have these gaps here. I want to change it so we can increase or decrease the gap between our boards. If you want to set different numbers between glute length and glute width, you can unlock this field with the L key and set the number of the glute width. So I want to lock it. So we have the min offset here, that is the offset of the pattern. In the minimum number, I want to change it here. So if we want to set the maximum offset, we can unlock it and set the maximum. So we have different shapes or different patterns on our surface. I want to lock it. We have the extrude and bevel parameters here. Extrude the height of the pattern, we can see this here. So I want to change it. And we have the bevel, so we have this pattern here, and change the amount of the bevel. Go to variation per bond for the more realistic effect to our pattern. Max rotation and min rotation determines the rotation of the pattern in the gaps. So I want to go in the chevron mode, and if we zoom in this area, we can change the rotation. So we have this changing here in max rotation and min rotation. That determines the maximum rotation and minimum rotation for our pattern. And we have the split number here. With changing it, we have the overall effect on the rotation. So in the max offset in x-axis and max offset in the y-axis, we can set the offsets in the x and the y-axis for our patterns or our gaps. I want to change this number so we can see this changing here, and minimum number, so split. I want to unlock this field and maximum offset in y-axis. Depend on your pattern, these offsets can be affect to this pattern or can be not affect to this pattern. So we have this effect that not so in this pattern we have see the effect of the maximum offset and minimum offset, also the split. Go to perspective report. We have the max tilt and the min tilt that determine the changing of the height of the bolts in the z-axis. I want to change the max tilt, so you can see we have the height of the bolts, and the min tilt determines the minimum number of the height of the bolts, and we have the split here that affect all pattern in this condition. And we have the max overlap that determine the overlapping of the borders in each other, but I offer you don't use this number. So if we increase the number of the overlap, our patterns or our boards go into inside each other. That is not true in the modeling, so I want to set it to 0. And on the last part of the parameters, in geometry mode we have the general that set the in this field set the overall scale of the pattern. We can change it. We have the direction or set the direction of the pattern. We have random seed here that change the random seed of the pattern. Offset X, move the whole pattern in the X axis. And offset Y, move our pattern in the Y axis. If you want to weld your pattern, you can check or on the weld threshold and set the number of the thresholding. You can see this pattern is here. UV setting is for the material or for the UV coordinates in the texturing or material, and we have the max board here that determines the max board of the pattern. And so in the last step we can save our pattern with the save button in the INI file, and so after we can load it from the our folder or our place that we save it on this location. We have some important notes about the float generator. First, you can't apply the float generator to the 3D objects, so I want to draw a box here and go to modify panel and apply float generator on the surface that we have this warning of the 3D Studio Max that we can't apply the object or modifier to this object. So I click OK, and you can see we have not usable mesh here. Second important note about the float generator is that you can apply the float generator to the 2D objects like rectangle, circle, or shapes that you want to draw them with the line object or another 2D objects. I want to go apply float generator, and you can see we can apply this modifier to the 2D objects. Depend on your surface, you can model your surface like bricks or ceramics or parquets and so on. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. If you like it, subscribe our channel in YouTube and follow our page in Instagram. Thanks a lot. See you in the next lesson.